What if the secret to wealth wasn't luck, talent, or where you were born, but a set of timeless principles hiding in plain sight? Over 80 years ago, Napoleon Hill interviewed the world's richest minds and uncovered 13 laws of success that changed millions of lives. Yet most people never truly understand them. In this video, I'll break down Napoleon Hill's 13 principles of getting rich, simply, clearly, and practically, so anyone can apply them starting today. If you stay until the end, you'll see how these principles fit together like a blueprint for success, and how one missing principle could be holding you back right now. 1. Desire, faith, and autosuggestion, the inner engine. The starting point of all achievement is desire. It is not a mere hope or a vague wish, it is a burning obsession that transcends everything else. To understand desire in the Hillian sense, one must view it as the psychological North Star that orients every conscious and unconscious action toward a singular objective. This intensity is necessary because the path to wealth is inevitably paved with obstacles that would deter a person possessed of only a mild interest. When desire is crystallized, it creates a state of mind where the individual no longer sees failure as an option, but merely as a temporary delay. This mental fixation serves as the fuel for the engine of success, providing the stamina required to endure the long night of effort before the dawn of achievement. Faith is the head gardener of the mind. It is the state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. In the context of personal success, faith is the bridge between the finite mind of man and the infinite intelligence of the universe. It is the only known antidote for failure. When an individual possesses faith, they operate from a position of certainty rather than hope. This certainty is not necessarily based on current physical evidence, but on an internal conviction that the desired result is already a reality in the mental realm. Without faith, the subconscious mind remains dormant, paralyzed by the fear of poverty, criticism, or ill health. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed their subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature, or, by neglect, permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into this rich garden of the mind. It is the practical application of the law of attraction within one's own psychology. By repeating specific affirmations and visualizing the end goal with emotional intensity, a person literally rewires their neural pathways. This is not mere positive thinking, it is a deliberate reprogramming of the self-image. If the subconscious is convinced that success is inevitable, it will begin to trigger the reticular activating system in the brain, causing the individual to notice opportunities, people, and resources that were previously invisible. Together, these three principles, desire, faith, and autosuggestion, form a self-reinforcing loop. Desire provides the target, faith provides the certainty, and autosuggestion provides the method of installation. When these three are synchronized, the individual develops an obsessive magnetism. They begin to act, speak, and think like the person they wish to become. This internal shift is the prerequisite for any external change in fortune. As Hill famously noted, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This is not a mystical statement, but a psychological truth. Our external reality is a delayed reflection of our internal dominant thoughts. 2. Specialized knowledge and imagination, turning ideas into value. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes actual power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite end. One of the great fallacies of the modern age is the belief that knowledge is power. If this were true, librarians and professors would be the wealthiest people on earth. Specialized knowledge differs from general knowledge in its application. It is the mastery of a specific niche, craft, or industry that allows an individual to provide a service or product that is in high demand. Successful people never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to their major purpose, business, or profession. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, the learned are often equipped for a world that no longer exists, while the learners inherit the future. Imagination is the workshop wherein are fashioned all plans created by man. It takes two forms: synthetic imagination and creative imagination. Synthetic imagination involves the rearranging of old ideas, concepts, or plans into new combinations. This is how most businesses are built, by taking an existing model and improving it or applying it to a different market. Creative imagination, on the other hand, is the direct link to infinite intelligence. It is the faculty through which hunches and inspirations are received. It is through this faculty that the truly great inventions and masterpieces of art are birthed. The more one uses their imagination, the more alert and sensitive it becomes, much like a muscle that grows stronger with exercise. The intersection of specialized knowledge and imagination is where the million-dollar idea is born. Knowledge provides the raw materials, while imagination provides the blueprint. A person may have all the knowledge in the world, but without imagination, they are like a builder with a pile of bricks and no architectural plan. Conversely, imagination without knowledge is a daydream without a foundation. The ability to see a gap in the market and fill it with a specialized solution is the hallmark of the entrepreneur. This requires a shift from being a consumer of information to being a producer of value. It requires asking not, "What can I get?" but "What can I create?" To monetize imagination and knowledge, one must learn to organize these assets into a specific service or product. This often involves the mastermind principle, where one recognizes that they do not need to possess all the specialized knowledge themselves, provided they know where to find it and how to organize it. Henry Ford, for example, had little formal education, but he surrounded himself with men who possessed the technical knowledge he lacked. His genius lay in his imagination, the ability to see the horseless carriage as a mass-market reality, and his ability to organize the specialized knowledge of others to achieve that vision. True wealth is the result of applying focused imagination to specialized problems. 3. Organized planning and decision, from dream to action. Organized planning is the process of transforming the spirit of a desire into the body of a physical reality. No individual ever experiences great success without a definite, practical plan. This begins with the formation of a mastermind group, a collection of people who can help you execute your vision. The plan must be written, specific, and measurable. However, Hill warns that no plan is perfect upon its first iteration. Persistence in planning means that when one plan fails, you must replace it with another. Failure is simply a signal that your plan was not sound. It is not a signal to quit, but an invitation to refine. The majority of people fail because they lack the persistence to create new plans to take the place of those that fail. The quality of a leader is often measured by the speed and firmness of their decisions. Hill's research into over 500 millionaires revealed one common trait. They all had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing these decisions slowly, if and when they were changed at all. Conversely, people who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing these decisions frequently and quickly. Indecision is a form of fear, the fear of being wrong, the fear of criticism, or the fear of loss. However, the cost of inaction is almost always higher than the cost of a wrong decision that can be corrected later. A clear decision acts as a mental gear that engages the engine of action. When a person wavers, they leak energy. Their mind is divided, and a divided mind cannot exert the pressure necessary to break through resistance. Decision-making is a muscle that must be trained. It starts with small things, deciding what to eat, when to wake up, what to read, and scales up to major life choices. By making firm decisions, You signal to your subconscious and to the world at large that you are a person of purpose. Clarity of intent attracts the resources needed to fulfill that intent. As the saying goes, the world makes room for the man who knows where he is going. The bridge between planning and decision is action. A plan without a decision to execute is merely a fantasy. A decision without a plan is a delusion. Organized planning provides the how, while decision provides the now. Successful people understand that the perfect time to start never arrives. They start where they stand, with whatever tools they have at their disposal, and better tools are found along the way. This bias toward action is what separates the winners from the also-rans. By committing to a plan and deciding to see it through, you create a psychological momentum that becomes difficult to stop. This is the essence of applied faith in the physical world. 4. Persistence, mastermind, and the power of others. Persistence is the essential factor in the procedure of transforming desire into its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. Most people are ready to throw their aims and purposes overboard and give up at the first sign of opposition or misfortune. A few carry on despite all opposition until they attain their goal. These few are the persistent ones. Persistence is a state of mind, therefore it can be cultivated. It is based upon definite causes, such as definiteness of purpose, self-reliance, and the habit of pushing through discomfort. Without persistence, you will be defeated even before you start. With persistence, you will win. The mastermind principle is defined as the coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. No individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure great success without the cooperation of others. There are two characteristics of the mastermind: the economic and the psychic. The economic is obvious. You gain the benefit of others' skills. The psychic is more profound. When two minds join, they create a third mind, an invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third brain. This collective intelligence is far greater than the sum of its parts. The choice of mastermind partners is perhaps the most important decision a person will make. These should be individuals who not only possess the skills you lack, but who also share a harmony of purpose. Discord in a mastermind group destroys its power. This is why many partnerships fail, not because of a lack of talent, but because of a lack of alignment. When a group of people works in total harmony toward a single goal, they tap into a reservoir of energy and ideas that none could access alone. This is the social capital that makes financial capital possible. It is the secret behind the success of every great corporation and movement in history. Persistence and the mastermind are the shield and sword of the achiever. Persistence protects you from the internal demons of doubt and laziness, while the mastermind gives you the external leverage to overcome obstacles that are too big for one person. Success is a team sport. Even the self-made man had mentors, advisors, and loyal employees. By recognizing that you don't have to do it all yourself, you free your mind to focus on your unique ability. You provide the vision and the persistence. The mastermind provides the support and the scale. Together, you create a force that is virtually unstoppable in the pursuit of a definite major purpose. 5. Sexual transmutation, the subconscious, the brain, and the sixth sense. Sexual transmutation is the process of diverting the mind from thoughts of physical expression into thoughts of some other creative effort. The desire for sex is the most powerful of human desires. When driven by this desire, men develop keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability unknown to them at other times. Transmutation is the act of taking that massive energy and switching the tracks so it fuels a career, a business, or an art form. This is not about repression, but about redirection. History is full of leaders who achieved greatness only after they learned to harness this energy and focus it toward a high-reaching goal. The subconscious mind is the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. It is the intermediary through which one may draw upon the forces of the universe. It works day and night. If you do not plant desires in your subconscious mind, it will reach out and feed upon the thoughts which reach it as the result of your neglect. This is why the control of one's mental diet is so crucial. The subconscious does not reason, it only accepts. If you feed it fear, it will manifest failure. If you feed it success consciousness, it will manifest wealth. It is the silent engine that drives the vehicle of your life, regardless of where the conscious driver thinks they are going. The brain is both a broadcasting and receiving station for the vibration of thought. Every human brain is capable of picking up vibrations of thought which are being released by other brains. This explains why atmosphere is so important. If you surround yourself with negative people, your brain tunes in to those low vibrations. If you surround yourself with high achievers, you pick up their frequency. This also relates to the sixth sense, the apex of the philosophy. The sixth sense is that portion of the subconscious mind which has been referred to as the creative imagination. It is through this sense that infinite intelligence communicates voluntarily, without any effort from or demands by the individual. The sixth sense cannot be learned in the traditional sense. It is developed through the application of the other 12 principles. It is the inner voice or intuition that tells you when to move and when to wait. When a person reaches this level of development, they become attuned to the laws of the universe. They no longer struggle against life, they flow with it. They receive flashes of insight that bypass logic. This is the highest state of human consciousness, the point where the individual becomes a co-creator of their reality. By mastering the lower principles of desire and planning and the higher principles of the subconscious and the sixth sense, one achieves not just wealth but true mastery over the self. Napoleon Hill's 13 principles aren't magic, they're a system. When practiced daily, they rewire how you think, decide, and act. Wealth is not just money, it's control over your mind, time, and future. Start with desire, commit to action, surround yourself with the right people, and persist longer than anyone else. If you apply even one of these principles consistently, your life can change. The real question is, will you use this knowledge or just admire it?